A very good evening for all the students who are live. So this is the part of the second series where we are reviewing the types of questions. So last week we have reviewed diagrammatic reasoning, numerical reasoning, and verbal reasoning questions. So it is made live on YouTube. If you have missed it, please do watch it. And in today's session, we will be taking up this situational judgment, which tests problem solving ability. So we will be taking 5 or 6 questions and we will try to answer them in this session. And if you are a DQ student, if you have access to DQ Edge, please log into DQ Edge and go to the practice session, All India NATA mock test. So we have released a new NATA 2021 full length mock test. Okay, so the full length mock test is accessible. So please do access the test. Okay. All right. So what are these situational judgment questions? So this is a new kind of question introduced in NATA 2021. So what it is basically they give you a scenario like you have been employed in a particular company, or a situation, okay, a scenario with some attributes, like you are having a particular role in the job, and the company name, the work culture, etc., etc. And then they give you situations based on the scenario, and in those situations how you are going to react. And you will be given 4 options. You have to choose the most likely and the least likely option. Most likely is the one that you would definitely gonna adopt in that situation, and least likely is the one that you will definitely not adopt in that situation. So without any delay, let us check the first question. So hope you all can read my screen. So this is the scenario 1. This is the first scenario. Please read through the scenario and then the situation 1. So this is the scenario. Okay, so you are a retail assistant working in Crosswords branch of Indiranagar. That is the scenario. Once you understand the scenario, read the situation 1. So that poses a particular unique situation, and then you can see the answer options A, B, C, D. You have to choose which is the most likely and the least likely option that you would be adopting for this situation. All right. So I would, first of all, I would want to have a small hello from all of you, so that I know that you are there, you are able to watch and you are following me. And secondly, I would want you to answer, when you're giving the answer options, give the first option as the most likely option, and second as the most unlikely option. Right? I hope my instructions are clear. So please read the scenario and situation, and please do answer. Okay, your time starts now. Go ahead. Okay, so once you are ready, you can give the options, like maybe the most likely option can be C, or most unlikely option is D, or maybe A and B, or B and C. So whichever it is. So please do answer. So you have to give both the answers, most likely and most unlikely as well. Not just one option, but two options. The first option has to be most likely. The second one has to be the least likely. Okay. So the answers are coming in. Majority are saying most likely as B and least likely as D. One student, Anupos Kyati, is saying most likely as A and unlikely as D. So the key for the answer is in the scenario that they have given. Okay. So if you understand the scenario correctly, then you will be able to answer the answer options. So I'm just giving you another 30 seconds. Just see if you can figure out both most likely and most unlikely options correctly. All right. Okay. So a few more answer options are coming in. B as most likely and A as least likely. All right. So basically, everybody is agreeing that B will be the most likely and maybe A or D as the least likely. Okay. So let us see the answers, right? So what are the key points in scenario one that we have to consider? Okay. So when you're working in a company or in an establishment, we have to understand what is their main goal, right? Like what is your job that will contribute to the company to the maximum. So if you see the third line, as a retail assistant, you are responsible for providing exceptional customer service whilst demonstrating product knowledge to maximize sales. Okay, so this is the key. So you as a retail assistant, you are responsible for providing exceptional customer service. So what do you mean by exceptional customer service? So the customer should have least difficulty in finding out what he's looking for. So, and going beyond their expectation. If somebody is asking for some particular book, instead of saying, okay, go to that corner and there you can find that book, if you actually go along with the customer and pick that book and give it to him, that is the exceptional customer service. So the customer will be extremely impressed and happy. Okay. So that's the key here. Okay. Now, what is the situation? A customer has been browsing in your section for about 10 minutes and is looking increasingly dissatisfied and frustrated. Okay. He approaches you and asks whether you have a particular book that he is looking for. And after checking on your computer, you have to inform him that it is currently out of stock. So this customer, he has already spent 10 minutes of time in searching for a book, and he is increasingly dissatisfied and frustrated. Imagine, put yourself in that particular situation, you yourself in that situation. And if somebody comes and tells you that it is currently out of stock, he would become even more mad, right? Because he was expecting that book to be available in the shop. First of all, it is not available, and he has also wasted 10 minutes of his time. So how do you pacify him and give a solution for him, right? So let us check EA. Apologize that book is unavailable and suggest he try crosswords.com or another online retailer instead. Okay. This, I think, is the most criminal way of dealing with a customer, especially when he has trusted your brand of company and he has walked into your store and he's searching for a book, and you're saying, okay, why don't you try at Flipkart or maybe Amazon? You can get it from there. I mean, that is the most criminal answer, right? So let us also go through the other answer options. Option B is offer to order the book for the customer and let him know how long this will take. Offer to call him when the book arrives. Yes. So this is a very nice way of ensuring that the customer gets what he wants, even though it is out of stock. You are ordering for the book on behalf of the customer, and you're also volunteering to call him when the book arrives. Okay, so this seems to be a very good option. Let us look at C. Give the customer the ISBN book serial number of the book so that he can easily and quickly search it out elsewhere, either online or at another bookshop. Okay, so this is the second criminal activity, because you are asking, somebody has come to you for buying stuff. If you don't have, you cannot direct them to some other shop, right? So that is the second criminal activity. All right. Let us see the fourth option, D. Suggest he try the Koramangala branch of Crosswords, which is 25-minute drive away, or other bookshops in Indiranagar. So out of all these, okay, option B is the best thing to be done for the customer so that he leaves with a great customer experience and his problem is solved. Okay. Out of the three criminal options, A, B, and D, the most criminal option is apologize that the book is unavailable and suggest he try crosswords.com or another online retailer instead. Okay, so that way you are diverting your own customer. You are not helping out him in terms of improving the experience, and you're also directing him to go to another retailer. Next time he will not come to your shop, he will directly go to that shop. Okay, so that is the most unlikely thing that you should be doing. And so the answer here is the most likely stuff is B, and most unlikely stuff you do is A. All right. So all those who are chosen B and A, they would get the full marks. All right. So you understood, right? The key of the question will be within the scenario that is presented. So you have to read the scenario carefully. Okay. Fine. Now let's go to the next question. Okay, the scenario is the same, but the situation is different. So please read the situation, go through the answer options, refer the scenario to find the key, answer key, what is the crucial thing that you should be considering, and then you answer the questions. Okay, your time starts now. All right, so the answers are pouring in. So most of you are saying B as the most likely and C as the most unlikely. Anupos Khyati is saying D as most likely and C as most unlikely. Okay, so I think everybody is accepting that C as the most unlikely thing, but let us see the answer options. So what is the situation? It is a Saturday morning and a colleague in stationery section is away on a sick leave. At 3 p.m. you are on your way to the staff room to take a quick tea break. When passing through the stationery section, you notice that it is a reasonable amount of disarray. Products have fallen on the floor and been left lying there. Shelves are untidy and some products are on the wrong shelves. So what would you do? So as a retail assistant, you're responsible for providing exceptional customer service whilst demonstrating product knowledge to maximize sales. You work primarily in the book section of the whatever branch. However, all the branch staff work as a unified team. So, however, all the branch staff work as a unified team, and therefore you're often required to work in other sections throughout the store. So this is the key, right? Okay. So let us see the answer options. Take your tea break, and then on the way back, quickly tidy up a few bits and pieces if it's still in a state. Now, when you are working in a company is paying money for you for doing a particular job role perfectly, right? So when you're on the job, you keep the job priorities as the most important stuff and your priorities as the least important stuff. Right? So when you see a situation like where there is a situation of disarray and things are not neat, so your priority should be to set it out or do whatever is needed to keep the stuff clean, right? So in this situation, what happened is so the colleagues in the stationery section and a colleague in this stationery section is away on sick leave, so there is nobody in that section. So, and when you notice something is wrong, so you have to act upon it. So the first option is not the right option. In fact, it is, as I always say, it's criminal to do that. I mean, focus on your own priorities. No. So option B, go back to your section and ask your team leader whether you can be spared for 10 to 15 minutes to help out in the stationery. If agreed, offer your help to the stationery team leader to quickly tidy up the area and take your tea break at 3 p.m. Now, this sounds to be a very good option because number one, you are informing your team leader about the situation, and um, he needs to know what is that additional effort that you are putting in to keep things in order, right? So that would be a good option. Option C, do nothing. The stationary team leader probably has it all under cover or control and will deal with it soon. It's understandable that there's a bit of a mess as someone is away and you don't want to insult the stationary team by mentioning anything. I mean, what is the insult? So the thing is, they have mentioned that, however, all the branch staff work as a unified team, right? So you're all team members. So each one of you are responsible for others' work. So it's not an insult to inform somebody that something is going wrong. It is your responsibility, right? So option C is again falls under the category of criminal, right? Let us see our option D. Inform the stationary team leader that there is a problem with the presentation of the section. Yeah, it is good to inform the team leader, but the most appropriate thing is to offer help, because you are part of a unified team. So the most likely thing that you should be doing is B. Go back to your section and ask your team leader whether you can be spared for 10 or 15 minutes to help out in stationery. If agreed, offer your help to the stationery team leader to quickly tidy up the area and take break at 3 p.m. That is the most likely thing. And the least likely thing is to do nothing. Okay, because then you're not a team player, you are just an outsider and you're not contributing to the team anyway. So the answer here is B and C. All right. Great. So I hope you all have got a hang of the situation judgment questions. They are they are very engaging. In fact, so much to learn in terms of how one has to work in a workspace. Okay, so they are very relevant for any kind of age group of people, and I'm glad that NATA has introduced the situational judgment because it kind of profiles a student and also prepares him what is expected in the workspace. In fact, I remember when I had given my what do you call, my campus placement interview at IIT, we were given loads of these kind of questions, okay, which are all based on situational judgment. And out of a class of about I think about 20, only two people qualified the situation judgment test, and it is very surprising to see that it was Sean and myself who were the only two people who have cleared the situational judgment test. It was also quite weird and funny. Nobody has cleared, but whatever it is, okay. So it's very important to have the sensitivities in place. It's very helpful. So let us go to the next question. Okay. So scenario 2, please read through the question, read through the scenario, read through the situation, and see which is the most likely and most unlikely thing that you're gonna do. All right. Okay. The time starts now. All right. So again, the answers are pouring in. This time it's a mixed kind of answers. So C and D, either C or D are considered as the most least likely. Okay, and probably A and B are considered as most likely. So let us see what is the correct answer options here. So you understood the scenario where you're working as and etc. So here the situation is there is a unsatisfied customer and is very unhappy, extremely unhappy with the cleanliness of the room, and the customer is only there for a night and he's expecting a pleasant experience. So that's the situation. What are you going to do in this situation? All right, so let us see the key. Where is a key in the scenario? So you are part of this particular team. The primary job of the guest services team is to ensure that the customer of the hotel receives an efficient and friendly welcome and departure, while ensuring the reception and front of house departments operate in an organized manner. The team must ensure a professional, friendly, and courteous service is provided to all guests, and all complaints the hotel receives are handled properly. The guest services must also implement Superloop's occupancy policy, which is to try to maximize occupancy on a daily basis, right? So all the complaints of the hotel receives are handled properly. So again, so in any business, the customer experience is the key, is essential. So now, in fact, if you see Amazon's policy, all right, so they have a policy like customer is a king. So even if they are making losses, they would try to keep the customer super happy, whatever it might take, right? Because they believe in making the customer super happy so that they can get these repeat customers. Okay. So in this situation, option A is apologize to the customer and say that you will ensure that the room is cleaned thoroughly within the next hour. Okay. This is a kind of an okay option. Okay, but we are losing the customer is losing 1 hour of his precious time out of the 10 hours that he is staying in the place, right? So the second option, B, if you look at that, apologize and offer the customer a different room immediately if necessary, an upgraded room if no others are available in his original price range. Imagine you have the situation and you get an upgraded room. How happy and delighted would you be? And how you will be talking about this kind of a customer service to your friends, right? So that's gonna kind of create a word of mouth experience, right? So option B is the best response in this situation. But let us see the other options as well. Option C: apologize and offer the customer a discount on his room rate. People have not come to your hotel to get a discount, but they came there to have a fantastic experience. So cutting down the discount or giving a discount on the room rate is not going to change their perception. That basically tells the inefficiency of the hotel in terms of not attending to the main concern. Okay, so that is definitely not a good option. Option D: apologize and arrange a complimentary room service meal and bottle of wine to be sent to the room. Okay, fine, but you are apologizing and you are trying to share a complimentary room service meal and bottle of wine, etc. But the problem remains the same. It is unclean, right? So you're not doing anything for for improving the quality of the room. So on top of that, you're saying, okay, I'll give you some food and wine. You please be in the dirty room and then enjoy the good food and wine. So that's very ridiculous, right? So the most likely thing that you should be doing is option B, and the least likely thing that you should be doing is option D. All right. So B and D are the correct answer options in this case. All right. Okay, so now let us go for the next. question. All right, so please read through the question and see what is the right answer option. Most likely and least likely. All right. Okay. So the next question. So same scenario, but a different situation. It is 8 p.m. on a Thursday evening in February. 50% of the hotel's 300 rooms are currently occupied, and a customer without a previous reservation has just arrived at the reception desk. The customer has inquired about the price of a standard double room. You have informed her that the room rate is 120 pounds per night, including breakfast. The customer then asks whether you can let her have a room and breakfast for 80 pounds. So option A, give her information on the town's inexpensive B&B accommodation and how to find it. Oh, this is a very, very criminal thing. So you're not only basically not agreeing for 80 pounds, but then you're giving an option um, to inexpensive B&B accommodation and how to find it. I mean, that's very offensive. So you're basically saying that, okay, you don't belong here. Please go somewhere else where it is cheaper. Right? So that is criminal, definitely criminal. Okay. So let us see the other options. Answer B says, say that you can offer her room at 100 pounds for the night and breakfast. So she's asking for 80 and you're offering 100. Okay, seems like a good deal for both of you. Option C, say that the room rate is 120 pounds and there are no discounts available. So by doing that, you are basically hurting the ego of the person. You're making them uncomfortable by saying, no, sorry, not for the beggars here, right? That's pretty bad. Say that if she returns at 9 p.m., you will probably be able to give her a discount on the standard room rate then. Okay, so how do you judge what is the right answer option? So you have to look for the key. What is the key? What as a team you should be doing? So if you look at these lines, the team must ensure a professional, friendly, and courteous service is provided to all guests and all complaints the hotel receives are handled properly. The guest service staff must also implement Superlook's occupancy policy. So, what is this occupancy policy? Which is to try to maximize occupancy on a daily basis. So, this is the key. So, some customer has come and you are trying to accommodate them, right? So, by doing so, you are increasing the occupancy. You're maximizing the occupancy. So, you cannot let a customer go, right? You have to grab the customer and give the offering, right? So in such a case, so by when the customer says, okay, I can offer you 80 pounds against 120 pounds, the best thing is, okay, you give a midway saying, okay, we'll accept for 100 pounds, and you have met their request somewhere midway so that you can close the deal, and that would help the occupancy policy, right? So answer B is the most likely option that you should be doing. Okay. Now, out of A, C, and D, let us say A, you are basically saying that, okay, go away from here. You don't belong here. Okay. And option D, you're saying that, okay, you come after some time. Okay. So you're basically making him feel a little uncomfortable. And meanwhile, maybe if somebody comes, then you can increase occupancy rate. But here, as you see that in the question, they are saying 50% of the hotel 300 rooms, so 150 rooms are vacant. Even if you delay the um, acceptance of this customer as a guest, you cannot expect 150 guests coming in, right, without notice. So the best thing would be to give the room to him, and the least likely thing you should be doing is definitely give her information on town's inexpensive B&B accommodation and how to find it. Okay, that's very criminal. I mean, you are not only making them feel bad, but you're losing a customer. Okay, and that's not a good thing. And also probably C, saying that if some customer is saying asking for a discount and then you are saying, oh no, we cannot give offer discounts and etc. As a matter of courtesy, can be given some discount and close the deal quickly. Okay, so the most likely thing is B, and the least likely thing is definitely A. All right, so B and A are the answers. Okay, so let us go to the next one. So same scenario, but a different situation. Please read through the situation and answer options and let me know what are the correct answer options. All right, so we are getting the answer options. Many are saying C or D. C or D as the probable answer options. So let us understand the situation here. Okay, so I just made the screen size decrease so that you can see the answer option of D completely. Okay, fine. So the hotel is hosting a large banquet tomorrow night on behalf of a corporate client. The guest list was due to be 150 people. However, just now you have received a call from the client contact that they have informed you that they have underestimated the numbers and that they need to increase the guest list to 200 people. It is 10 a.m. Now, what is your role? Okay, so let us go through the role. All right, you're working as a second in command, and you report directly to the guest relation manager. All right, sorry for that. So now you are taking the role of a communicator here. Okay, you are not a decision maker, but you are a communicator. So as a communicator, you have to facilitate the communication between the client and the people who will facilitate it or who organizes it. So you cannot take a decision, okay, on behalf of somebody else. Now, this is a big decision because there are an additional extra 50 guests who are coming in, and to accommodate these 50 guests, there's a lot of preparation that goes on the background, right? So you have to talk to the team. So out of all the A, B, C, D options, the option that has got where you're taking a little time to communicate with the team and get back to them about the confirmation is the right response. So you cannot assume things that you can accommodate the guest because it will be a huge responsibility. What if you commit, if you accept, and then the team says it's not possible, and then the final day when everybody arrives and the service will be of shortfall. So that would be a great error from your part. So the most likely thing that you should be doing is tell the client that the hotel will do everything it can to accommodate the extra numbers, and you hope to be able to call them back and confirm the booking shortly. That is a most likely response. Okay. The least likely response is tell the client what the increased cost will be for extra 50 guests based on the amount quoted per person for the original 150. Of course, the client knows that it will cost extra, but that's not the right thing to do. Okay, the right thing to do is first to talk to your team, see if it is possible or not. If the booking is possible, then you can probably talk to the client about the increased cost. Okay, so here the most likely thing is D and the least likely thing is A. Okay, fine. So let us do one more last question for the day and then we close the session. All right. So same scenario, but different situation. Okay, just give me a minute. Just hold on. Mm. Right, let me just share my screen. All right, so yeah, please read the question and then give your answer options. Okay, so you can't see the option D, so let me minimize the screen. Okay. Yeah, now you can see those questions. So this is a very tricky question. So how you manage the show, okay, speaks a lot on your way of what do you call the leadership skills. Okay, so try to answer the question carefully. So as I said, the answer options you choose is gonna showcase what kind of leader you are. Okay, so by answering this question, you can also understand your own leadership skills. All right, so let us see the answers. So the situation is, it is Saturday morning and you have just been informed that large group booking is going to be transferred from a Ginger Hotel to your hotel as the other hotel is overbooked. The group requires 110 rooms and the main conference suite to be made available from 6 p.m. this evening. You have room availability tonight, but not all the rooms have been prepared as you weren't expecting a high occupancy level. In order for all the rooms to be prepared, the morning shift housekeeping staff will need to work an additional 2 hours each, for which they will be paid overtime. Their shift normally finishes at 2 p.m. So it's a great opportunity for the Taj Hotel, and but the only problem is the staff will have to work overwork a little bit more than required, and of course they'll be paid for that. So how do you handle the situation? So let us see options. Call the housekeeping staff together as soon as is convenient, and then explain the situation to them, saying that the group booking is great for the Taj as occupancy has been low recently, and they will be helping to keep the hotel running successfully. So this is a great thing, because number one, you're communicating with all the housekeeping staff at the same time. You're helping them understand the importance of working together. That little overtime, because of the situation the Taj hotel occupancy has been recently, and it will be a great benefit for everybody. And then the hotel can run successfully. So it kind of motivates everybody, it brings in the team spirit in them, and they work together and they achieve the objective. So this is a fantastic response, but then we'll see the other B, C, D options as well. So option B, ask the senior housekeeper to let the staff know that they will be required to work an extra 2 hours today. Now, this is a very unique situation. It doesn't happen every day. So if it, and it's also a very important thing. So if you are asking the senior housekeeper to communicate this information to the housekeeping staff, um, I mean that may be okay, but it's not ideal. The ideal thing is this is a great opportunity for you to establish that connect and rapport with the housekeeping staff, so that you can really motivate all of them and ensure that the work is done nicely. All right. So B is okay, but not super ideal. Option C, call the housekeeping staff together and say you are sorry. They will be needed for extra 2 hours, but hopefully the overtime pay will come in handy. Okay. Now, first of all, you're not the boss here, okay, and you don't have to be sorry, okay, because they're not working for you. They are working for a common goal of running the Taj Hotel nicely. Okay, so you don't have to be sorry for that. And then you don't have to tell about the overtime pay as if you're trying to do some kind of a gratitude towards showing your gratitude towards them, because this is a policy, it's a company policy, and they all know. So it's just that, I mean, you cannot motivate a person by saying, okay, you can get additional money. Rather, you can motivate the person by showing a higher cause, right? A higher cause. So option C is not an ideal thing. Okay. D is talk to the housekeeping staff and say that unfortunately they have to work an extra 2 hours and you are very sorry. So again, so you don't have to be sorry for them, but in this case, the most likely thing, the most suitable thing is option A, calling the housekeeping staff together as soon as is convenient and then explain the situation to them, saying that the group bookings is great for the Taj as occupancy has been low recently, and then they will be helping to keep the hotel running successfully. And the least likely thing that you should be doing is ask the senior housekeeper to let the staff know that they will be required to work an extra 2 hours per day. Okay, so the answer options here is A and B. All right. So for all those who, oh God, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I have been on mute. I almost explained the answer completely and I realized that I am on mute. All right, never mind. So I'm going to repeat myself. I hope you're all able to hear me now. I'm really sorry for that. Okay. So here the right option, answer option is A. calling the housekeeping staff together and briefing them and telling them that their contribution is going to really help increase their occupancy, especially in a times where the occupancy has been low, and that will help the successful running of the hotel. Okay, the least thing that they should be doing is calling the senior housekeeper and asking or briefing him to uh, tell the staff. All right. Okay, fine. So the answer options, the most likely is A and the least likely is B. All right. Oh, okay. I wasn't on the mute. All right. Okay. Cool. Then you have listened to me. All right. Great. Fine. So for all the DQ Lab students who have access to DQ Edge, we have updated the 2021 NATA mock test 1. We will be releasing 4 more mock tests before the actual test. So please do attempt the 2021 NATA mock test 1. Okay, it has 125 questions. It has all the types of questions like the PTQ, MCQ, MSQ, and the NAQ, and also situation-based test, diagrammatic test, and all of that is there. It is as much as good as the as mock test as per the new pattern. Please do attempt. For all those who have not done it yet, please go here and answer the NATA strategy test. So you can access this. What I'll do is I'll share this particular page. Oops, I can't share this page. All right, let me try to share this page. Just give me a minute. Okay, so you can go there and answer this particular paper. Yeah, the NATA strategy test is free, but the NATA mock test is only for the DQ students. So please do attend that, and please ensure that you answer all the questions in the learn section, especially the mental ability, analytical reasoning, visual spatial ability. All right. We would be adding few more questions, but please ensure that you have completed all these sections absolutely 100%. Very, very important. All right. Okay. So let me just give me a minute. Let me share that link. Okay, I'm sharing that in the chat window. Please do access it. All right. And if you're not subscribed to the video, to the channel, please do subscribe. Next week is going to be a very interesting one. We'll be having an architect briefing you all the stuff, very interesting stuff that has happened in the field of architecture in the last 3-4 years, because it is highly likely that they're going to ask architectural awareness of the last 3-4 years of stuff. So an architect will be briefing you in terms of the famous architects, buildings, books, places, awards, and all of that. So please do not miss this session. All right. So with that, I would like to stop this session for today, and we'll meet you in the next next session that happens on Monday. All right. Okay. Thank you. All the best.